Guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to be making this cropped vest crop top with notched collar and also cargo flat pockets. So yeah, this tutorial is very detailed, and yeah, I hope you enjoy it. You hope you learn a thing or two. Please do make sure to subscribe, like and share, and let's get into the video. So guys, we are going to be starting with our front pattern piece. So on our pattern paper here, I'm just going to place my shoulder measurement. For this pattern, we are going to be making use of one pattern paper for both our front and back pattern piece. So first we'll be starting with the back pattern, and then we'll be drafting our front pattern piece. So for my neck width, I'm placing 3 inches. Next, on my shoulder, I'm going to be going down by 1 inch from my shoulder slope. So now I'll be connecting that 1 inch to my neck width. Moving on to our neckline depth. So we're going to be marking 1 inch for our neck depth and then connecting the lines to the neck width. Next, we're going to go ahead and place our vertical measurements. I'll be starting with the armhole. For the armhole, I have 8 inches plus the 1 inch on the shoulder slope, 9 inches. Now I'll also go ahead and mark my bust point, which is 11 inches, and then I'll also go ahead and mark my waistline, which is 19 inches. You can make use of 17 or 18 inches if you want your top to be a bit more cropped, but I prefer 19 inches. So now I'm going to go ahead and rule on those lines we've just marked. Also, at the beginning of the video, I forgot to add that at the midpoint of or the beginning of my pattern paper, I folded in 1 inch. So I'm going to show you that. So you're going to keep it folded in for your back pattern. When we are drafting our front pattern, that's when you will be opening it out. So I went ahead to use my curved ruler to curve out my armhole, and then I'll be adding my body measurement. So when you're adding your body measurement, you'll be adding extra 2 inches. So for your bust measurement, you add extra 2 inches, your your waist and your chest line, extra 2 inches. So right here, I've placed on my fabric and I'm going to just be cutting out. Remember, for your back pattern, you'll be cutting out on a fold. So I just left out ½ inch for my sewing allowance. And I'm going to show you what the back is looking like. So you see, we are cutting on a fold. Moving on for our front pattern, we are going to be placing our tape. Remember, we took out 1 inch for our back neckline, so we are going to be placing it that way and taking 3 inches. Now I'm going to use my curved ruler and then curve out the 3 inches. Next, I'm going to be ruling a line from my 3-inch neck width to my chest line. So we're going to be ruling a straight line from the neck width there to the chest line. Okay, so there we have like a triangle. Next, we're going to be cutting out that 3 inches neckline that we took earlier for the front neckline. After cutting out the 3-inch neckline, you can see what we have here. So our collar is coming out, it's looking nice. So yeah, this is what it's going to be looking out like for our lapel collar, for our notched collar, sorry. So next, on the hem of our front pattern paper, we'll be marking 1.5 inch on both sides. Okay, and then we're just going to go ahead and roll and cut it out. After cutting out our pattern paper, we'll be placing on our fabric to cut. Don't forget to add ½ an inch at the hem of your front top. Okay, and then I also added ½ an inch at the center front for the joining of the top. Okay, For the lower part of the front piece, you can see I cut two pieces on fold, so please do take note of that. Okay, now moving to sewing the lower part of the top, you can see that the center top, I already joined the center top together, so there is no rough seam there, there's no open seam there. So now we are going to be placing this lower um front hem as I labeled it earlier. So now we are going to be placing it right sides facing each other, right? And then you'll be placing only one piece of the extra piece, which is the front hem as I labeled it. So just one piece of it, and then you will sew on your front piece, and then you will flip the other piece to the back and fold in the hem so that both sides will be neat. Okay, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is what it's looking like. Both sides of the front hem is neat, so there is no rough seam showing, everything is hidden underneath. Okay, so this is what it's looking like, all neat and beautiful. Next, we're going to go ahead and join our front piece to the back piece. So for the back piece here, I made use of Ankara because my fabric finished, so I didn't have enough fabric, and it's my top, so there's no big deal because it's not a client's outfit. Okay, so now I already placed one part of the front piece to it. Okay, so now you're placing it right sides facing each other. Okay, so you're placing right sides facing each other, and we're going to be placing our second piece, and then we'll be joining the shoulder and also joining the sides. Okay, now I already joined the shoulder on one part, so we're going to be joining the shoulder on other parts, and then we'll be sewing in the sides. So right here I already joined everything together, joining the shoulder and the sides, and everything's looking nice and beautiful. Next, we're going to move ahead to our neckline. Okay, for our notched neckline. So for the notched neckline, we already sew in 1.5. You can see, so you're sewing in 1.5 in, and then the rest you leave it open. So now those open parts is where we are going to be measuring. Okay, so we have about 18 inches, so you already have 1.5 also on the other side that you already sew in, so for both sides of the neckline. Okay, so in total we have 18 inches for our neckline. So now we are on our pattern paper, we are going to go ahead and place 3 inches on both ends. So we are going to be marking 3 inches, and we're going to go ahead and roll. So remember, for our neckline we had 18 inches, so we'll divide our 18 inches into 2, making it 9 inch, and we're going to be placing that 9 inch at the top and at the bottom, and then we'll go ahead and roll that in. Next, on this 9 inch, we're also going to be placing the midpoint, which is 4.5. Before that, yeah, so we're placing 4.5. After placing 4.5 at the center of the neckline, which is where you are seeing my tape, we're going to be placing 0.5 inch, and then we'll be connecting the 0.5 inch to the 4.5 with a curved ruler. So we're going to be connecting those dots together with the curved ruler, and now we'll go ahead and cut out our collar. So this is what the collar piece is looking like. So at the outer hem of the collar, we're going to be marking 1 inch, and then we're going to be using our curved ruler again, and then we'll be curving out that 1 inch.
After cutting out the 1 inch, I decided to label the center of the collar, and we are going to go ahead and cut on fabric. So we are cutting 2-piece unfold on fabric for the collar, so take note of that. So after cutting on fabric, I went ahead to sew the top and the side of the collar, and now we are going to be turning my crop top inside out. Okay, so this is what we have here. Now we are going to be placing the collar. You can see the way we are placing the collar.
You will be placing your collar in between your main fabric and your lining fabric, so it's going to be at the middle between those two fabric lines. So you can see what we have here. So it's in between my main fabric and my lining. So this is what we have here. So now we are just going to go ahead and sew that in so that you can have a neat seam. So this is what it's looking like after sewing it. Okay, and now you are going to turn it over with an opening that you have on your armhole. Okay, so I made a small opening on my armhole, and that is where I'm turning over this piece. So now we're going to go ahead and turn it over. Please take note that when joining the front and the back piece together, you are going to be joining your lining separate from your main piece. That is why you can have that gap to sew in your collar. Okay, so this is what the collar is looking like. I didn't film that part, I'm sorry about that. So this is what the collar is looking like. So we've come to the end of the video. The next video, I'm going to be showing you how to sew the flat cargo pockets. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.